All right, let's get into it. Today, we are stepping into the ring for a massive title fight, one that honestly affects every single one of us. We're talking about the battle for your wallet. So let's just dive right in. I want you to think for a second. Think about the last few things you bought. Was it, a late night scroll on your phone that ended with a tap? Or was it an actual trip to a real store? This is the big question, right? Clicks or bricks? Who is really winning the battle for your wallet? Let's find out. Okay, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll set the stage with the great retail battle. Then, we'll look at the case for clicks and the power of bricks. After that, it's the ultimate showdown. And finally, we'll look at why the future is hybrid. All right, round one, the great retail battle. We're setting the stage here for the ultimate showdown between, the established champion, traditional bricks, and the up-and-coming challenger, online clicks. So let's talk about our challenger first, clicks. It's time to make the case for the contender that basically burst onto the scene and changed, well, pretty much everything. The rise of e-commerce wasn't really an overnight thing. It was more like a slow burn that just exploded. It all started way back in 1995 when Amazon opened its virtual doors. But the real game changer, that was 2007. When the first iPhone came out, it didn't just give us a new phone. It literally put a store in every single person's pocket. Then the 2010s came along and social media got in on the action with those buy now buttons, turning our doom scrolling into, well, shopping. And then, of course, 2020. The pandemic didn't create this trend, but man, it slammed its foot on the accelerator. It felt like we crammed a decade of digital change into just 1 year. So what are the knockout punches for clicks? What makes it so powerful? Well, first, it's that 24/7 convenience. The store literally never closes. Then you've got the endless aisle. The sheer amount of selection is something no physical building could ever match. Then there are the powerful price comparison tools and the personalized recommendations. It's like the whole store is rearranging itself just for you. And the final jab, that delivery, straight to your door. It's a killer combo. But hold on, don't count the champ out just yet. It's time to look at the power of bricks. Because the champion is absolutely fighting back. And they're fighting smart. And this really gets to the heart of it, to the core strength of physical stores. This quote from a retail analyst just nails it. The one thing an algorithm can't replace is the power of human connection and sensory experience. And that's so true, right? It's about actually touching the product, talking to a real person. It's about something more than just clicking buy. So how are bricks adapting? How are they fighting back? Well, they're leaning into the stuff that makes them special. For one, they're creating these amazing in-store experiences. Think about a store that offers free classes, or one that's basically a playground for its products. They're also leveraging real in-person expert advice from people you can actually have a conversation with. Plus, they offer the one thing online just can't touch: instant gratification. You buy it, you have it. No waiting for a box to show up. And more, they're becoming these community hubs, giving you a reason to show up that isn't even about shopping. Okay, you hear that bell? It's time for the ultimate showdown. Let's put these two giants head-to-head and really compare them. When you really think about it, they offer two totally different ways to shop. Clicks, that's the path of least resistance. It's built for speed, efficiency, and pure convenience. Bricks, though, that's the path of discovery. It's all about the experience, using your senses and actually interacting with things and people. All right, let's look at the tail of the tape here. Immediacy, point goes to bricks. You get your stuff right away. Clicks means you have to wait. What about trying a product? Again, bricks wins. Nothing beats that physical, sensory experience. And returns? Oh man, walking into a store is so much easier than finding a box and printing a label. But when it comes to personalization, this is where clicks has a real edge. Those algorithms can be incredibly powerful, sometimes more so than the human help you might get in a store. But here's where it gets really interesting. Our preference isn't a simple one or the other thing. It totally depends on what we're buying. For clothes, most of us still want to go to a store, right? To try things on, feel the material. But for electronics, when it's all about comparing specs and prices, we usually go online. And groceries? Well, that's the big battleground right now. It's a real mix, but online is growing like crazy. So the key takeaway here is there's no single winner across the board. So after all that, we've reached the final round. And the judge's decision, well, it's a bit of a surprise. Turns out the future is hybrid. So yeah, the future isn't about choosing clicks or bricks. It's about using both together.
And the fancy term for this is omni-channel retail. All that means is that every channel, the physical store, the website, the app on your phone, they all work together to create one single, smooth experience for you. The whole point isn't for one to beat the other. It's for them to merge.
And the craziest part? You're probably already living in this hybrid world and don't even think about it. Have you ever bought something online and then picked it up in the store or returned an online order at a physical shop? That's it. That's omnichannel. Retailers are even using their stores as tiny shipping centers to get stuff to you faster. And we're starting to see even cooler things like augmented reality apps that help you find things in store or smart carts so you can just walk out. It really is the best of both worlds, and it's happening right now. So, after all the rounds, after the big showdown, who actually won? Well, it's not clicks and it's not bricks. The real winner is you. It's us, the customers, because this huge battle has forced everyone to step up their game. They have to be more innovative. They have to focus on giving us a better experience, more choices, and more convenience than we've ever had before.
Look, this retail battle isn't over, not by a long shot. It's just changing the rules of the game. The lines between online and in-person are getting blurrier every day. The experiences are all starting to merge into one. And that leaves us with a final question for you to think about. Knowing everything we just talked about, how are you going to shop next?